Well, it's Saturday, and it's time for me to do another studio session here, and I'm playing around with a new project that I'm working on, and I'm just going to set this one aside and start something else over here. I was working on this one last time, but this time I want to start to paint over this collage that I started. And I don't want to use too much of this black, a little bit maybe. I'm trying something different. I've been using watercolor mostly. This is some kind of a stain, I guess. I'm going to pull this up a little bit because I can't work without bumping the camera. I think I really liked using this instead of these spray inks. I'm really doing quite a bit of experimentation here on this. I have been wanting to explore these layered collages made with, scrap papers and things left from other things that I've worked on. And I'm really just experimenting, and that's what today's session is all about. Just experimentation. So if you're just joining, I'm working on a collage series right now, and on Saturdays I try to do a little bit more of an exploratory work and not really have a set outcome in mind. And so today I've been wanted to continue on with this collage series that I'm kind of playing with watercolors, acrylic, and just scrap papers and painted papers. I'm going to let this one continue to use gravity to pull that down, and I'll just show you a couple that I've been working on earlier this week. So I layer some collages, and then I sand it, and then I start adding some paint. So, and then this one has quite a bit more paint to it. So yeah, it's just a series that I'm working on here. And I've kind of got 3 of them going at once here while I wait for some of it to dry and have gravity do its work. I got out some spray inks that I have, thinking that maybe that would be interesting, but so far I didn't like the way that looked. But maybe I have these distress oxides. It might be kind of interesting. I'm going to get some over in this corner here. See what happens. There's matte medium underneath there, so, it's not going to necessarily act the same way as it would on paper. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm so far not loving this, but it's all an experiment. This one has, oh, that's a brown, interesting. Not sure I'm going to love this, but the beauty of this is that because I can sand it back down if I don't like it. I don't like that brown. So we'll see how that goes. Let me just leave that one aside a second here. And then this one, there's a whole bunch of different layers on it. And I'm going to add some, I think I was going to add some black to this and see what happens. Oh, that's pretty heavy, pretty dark. Not sure I like that either. What I like about this project, or at least my idea behind this project, is that, I can reveal some layers. I don't know, it's kind of the idea of burying and revealing. So if you've been here before, I have been focused quite a bit lately on watercolors, but I don't know, I got this idea, and I needed to work on it. So my Wednesdays are more about watercolor, although I'm using some watercolors here. That's Daniel Smith crayon that I just put on there. But I really wanted to pursue this idea, so I started thinking that on Wednesdays I'll continue with my watercolors that I've been doing, and then, on Saturdays I'll come here and maybe do more of an experimental thing, which is what I'm doing today. Like some of this paper and this color can be wiped off. It's very abstract, but I don't know, I like playing with this kind of thing. And, I think it's kind of the idea of layering and then maybe sanding it back and layering some more, that kind of idea. You've probably seen other people do this technique. In fact, I'm trying to think of the name of the collage artist. I was supposed to put his name, Mark Bradford. I didn't link him up last time. I should have. He does amazing work, not similar, his work is, it's huge. It covers whole walls, but the idea of layering and pulling back, revealing. So I'm going to set this one down and see what else I've got here. I've got 3 at the same time because I like to let it dry a little bit in between. This one's kind of interesting the way it is right now. This is too dark in here. Kind of like that one. And also this the texture. Let's see. I think I'm going to leave this right now because I really like that. If it'll stay up there without falling down. Some of you might have been here earlier. I was showing these other ones that I've been working on. This one I feel like might be done. And this one is kind of interesting, but I think I kind of want to take this off. I feel like it almost looks like a landscape. This almost looks like water here. And, you know, the sun here, but this is a little bit of a weird random piece in there for a landscape, but I could maybe sand that off. Don't like the colors on this one so far. I like the orange and the blue, but I don't know, it's not speaking to me at the moment. And I need to decide what other colors I want to put in here. Maybe I'm going to get a little bold here and try some more of these Distress Oxide inks. And, oh, that's kind of a really bright. I like that. I think there's another reddish orange over here. Oh yeah, that's... This is just water that I'm spraying on here. And the other thing I think I could try that's kind of been interesting is using alcohol ink. And not alcohol ink. Just rubbing alcohol. Okay, I think I want to try using this. Sorry I bumped the camera. Do not love the opacity here. I want it to be more translucent. Well, I don't love this. I don't know what I did on the other ones that I liked them a lot better. I'm just letting gravity do its thing with the water. See what happens that way. what I thought I'd do with these is just, do some different layers, let it dry, and I can always come back to it. And, if I don't like it, I could always paint over it or add more to it. I could add more collage layers and sand it again. So this is just really all a big experiment for me. Some really dark in there, and I don't know why that's... I want it darker. I kind of like this. Oh, that's an interesting idea, Joe. I just don't like the way these colors are here. I just really don't like that. Let the color... Oh, Joe. Joe, are you Joe from California? Because we chatted a few live streams ago. And also, I understand that your comments, there's a delay. Oh, hi, Joe. I missed you last couple times I've been live. I don't love the colors in this. So I'm gonna set this one aside, and I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's gonna be, I've got this one that this is just, the other ones are random collages like this. But this one is horizontal. I thought I'd just play around with the collage as, horizontal or vertical. And I don't know where I'm headed with these. I'm kind of struggling with this today. This is one that I finished. So, well, I think it's finished. I don't know if you guys can see it. Whoops. Yes, I agree with you. I don't like that peach. I like the idea of, here's what I liked about this one. I liked the orange and the blue. I like the complementary colors, but then this is too, I don't know, blah, meh, as people say. Anyway, so I don't really like this one, this piece on this one, but otherwise I like this one. That one's in progress. This one's in progress. I feel like this one's done. And I feel like this one is finished. I need to check the value on these because I feel like they could have... Thank you, Joe. I do too. I like just letting things happen. This one actually is supposed to go like this. This one's called A Way of Life Lost. That just randomly was a piece of scrap paper that I had that was... Like, these are just all papers that I made or left over from other projects, and I glued them all down in a really thick layer, and then I sanded it with a rotary... Is that what it's called? What's it called? The kind of sander that an electric sander. So anyway, I've got dozens of these masonite boards that I'm planning. See, this is what else I like about this. I can peel some of this away when it's wet. And that's kind of interesting. So yeah, I kind of have a lot going on here. But I don't know, I'm feeling like I don't love anything I'm working on right now, but I am enjoying the process and I'm getting messy. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, this one is done. I was thinking of calling it this one um, is this one's done because it has a really deep value over here, and then it's got movement, and I feel like it has enough value change. But the other ones, I mean, I do what I think some other artists do, and I usually take a black and white picture of my work. Not usually, sometimes I do, because then that helps me see if I have enough contrast and changes in value. So I do like to do that. I don't think it's cheating. I just like to, you know, see how that turns out. So I have a whole bunch of these, and I thought these might be interesting, but it's turning out that I don't really like it. And I've been using a few acrylic paints, but even those. So what I actually been using over the top of this, which kind of surprised me, was some watercolors, because I just really didn't think that watercolor would really work with using a gloss medium, which is what I use to put down the collage papers with. But I actually kind of like the way it, glazes over things. But I think I need to come in with some darker, I don't know, I don't mind dark for my work. Having some really dark areas, and I like to use this water to help move it around. No, art is never criminal. I would agree with that. I mean, it's just a way to help you evaluate, your work while you're in progress. Sometimes it's hard to get past the color, right? And really see the value that you've got going on. But one thing I would like to do on this, I I reorganized my studio earlier this week, and now I'm like looking for things. It's more organized, but that doesn't mean that I can find things. I thought it was kind of interesting to use alcohol as a resist with acrylic paint. It's kind of an interesting. I don't know. I am not happy with anything I'm working on today. I feel like I should just, leave it for today. Maybe I should have just done one of my happy watercolors. I think I did that on, I don't know, did I do that on Wednesday? I'm losing track of what I did. Okay, I don't like this. And then I didn't like this. I kind of like it a little bit better now, but this is just too gray and drab right in there. So, well, I'm going to set this up here a second and clean this off, and maybe I'll add something else to that, but maybe I just need to go make dinner for my dad. My dad is coming over for dinner today. Normally he comes on Sundays, but I have other plans with some friends tomorrow. So I said, Dad, come for dinner today. Potato salad and hamburgers. Joe, which one were you talking about that needs more red? This one with the gray, or the horizontal one? Yeah, I just don't really, not feeling these colors today. And this one's kind of interesting. It's got some purple up here, this orange right here. That one, yeah. That's what I was going for with this. I was using these distress oxides, but I don't like the way that ended up turning out. So I don't know, maybe I just need to go back in here with some watercolor or something. I'm mixing up an orange right now. That's not it. That's not going to work. It's probably too wet in here. It's wet. I don't like that. It's not giving me the color that I want. I mean, I have more of these distress oxides. This one's supposed to be, oh, I've got this one. This one might be better. I don't like, this is just bleh. But, sometimes, I was talking about this one day, not too long ago, that your garden, like I have a garden, and in the spring here in Michigan, it looks so bad. And I just think, oh my gosh, it's never going to look good. And then, you work on it, you do some raking, and next thing you know, it looks so much better. And I feel like this, it's a little bit of the same thing for me here. Like sometimes I just have to keep working on it, and, then maybe it's going to come along and be better after I keep working on more layers. And, my thing is, too, is that I don't know what it is. There's something for me about, I know a lot of people do these really pretty watercolors, and I do enjoy other people's watercolors where, they're using all these really happy, bright colors. But I really am attracted to, like, dark. Well, this is pure black right now, which I would like to add some dark purple and some dark, some darks to this. And, that to me, I don't know why these aren't working today. Like, I love this right here. I don't like this down here still. I really don't like it. This whole section in the middle. Anyway, I'm attracted to sort of like a really, deep. Yeah, you can kind of just, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think you just have to keep going, and I don't know. It's possible to overwork something, I suppose, but I think this kind of work, sometimes you just have to keep going. I'm just putting some more water on here. I mean, I think that if I leave this to dry and let gravity pull some of this color down, I think it could be pretty interesting. And then also I can sand this back again if I really don't like it. I think I like it better now than I did earlier anyway. Just trying to let that gravity, I want some more of that black to go all the way down to the other side. I probably should have put gloves on to do this. Well, that's what I think is interesting about this idea anyway that I had, was that, I could reveal other layers below it. I don't know. I think if I left this to let the gravity finish doing its work, come back when it's dry, I can reevaluate it. Maybe pull some of these layers back out. I really like this right here. And this is still not, that's not deep enough. It's still got too much gray in it. But I think maybe I could let it dry and then see what happens later. Okay, so I will leave that, but I'll show you something else that I'm working on. Oh my gosh, I made such a mess. I have another collage idea that I'm working on right here, and it's this is a roll of packing tape, that you can wet with water, and then I've just been, like I said, I was taking all that collage paper just odds and ends paper that I have, and so I thought, what if I, make this really long roll of a collage. And so, yeah, that's what I've been working on too, this idea. I don't know how many feet I've got so far. But the whole tape is like 150 feet long, and I thought, well, okay, I'm just going to make a 150-foot long collage. So I started doing that, and I just remembered what I was using on my other, this reminded me of it. I know what I was using on these that I really liked, and so I'm going to do it again. I was using this Brusho, and I like the way, this was the watercolor that I used that I thought was interesting on these. So maybe I'll put some more of that on here. Okay, so what I did is I wet it, and then I have all these different Brusho colors. And I'd never heard of this until, I don't know, sometime this winter I saw somebody using this, and I was like, what? I have to get some of that. And it's a powder, that you sprinkle on, and then it kind of does just really move around on the paper in a really interesting way. So you just poke a little hole in it, and then you don't want to dump too much on, because first of all, you don't need very much, but so it's just really, really interesting how it starts to move on the paper. That was what I did on those other ones that I really liked. I kind of forgot that I did that. And speaking of red, there's red. So anyway, I really like this, and I forgot that's what I was doing on those other ones that I just showed you, is how I got some of the really interesting effects and color. Yeah, I mean, Joe, have you seen that before? I had never heard of it. It's literally this is just full of powder. Oops, Brusho. And I just think it's so cool. There's some other colors. I don't have any blues. I have some greens, terracotta. I kind of wish I had some kind of a blue to put up here. There's no black. I like the sandstone and the terracotta a lot. This is terracotta, and that was red. and the sandstone right there. So I don't know, I really like that. So I think that that is why I was not liking some of my other work. I forgot that I had used this. I just think that's so interesting. And then there's like this is a lime green over here. I'll put some of that in there. I know this is pretty busy right now, but yeah, I don't know. I saw another watercolor painter using it. I can't remember her name on her YouTube channel, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I have to get that. I need that." So it's already started to, if it dries just as it's blooming, it gives a pretty interesting effect too. So I don't know. Anyway, that's what I've been working on, and I'm really kind of just playing around with this. I have the idea that I'd like to do a show for the first time ever. We have a little local art gallery in our town where it's a senior living place, and they have an art gallery there, and do they'll do local artists and stuff. And I thought it would be fun if I put together 20 of these and try to do a show. So I love the way this is looking right here. It almost looks like wood grain or something. I don't know. I don't know about this black over here. It's a bit too heavy, but I can do something else with that. Well, I hope people enjoy. So thanks for stopping by, and I will. I'll be back on Wednesday. I won't be working on this project. I'll probably just putter around with one of my watercolors and keep it short on Wednesdays. And I thought I'd come back on Saturdays with sort of more experimental stuff. Just hang out with me in my studio while I work on these and work through them. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you next time. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks, Joe. Bye.